All right, hey there folks, how you doing today? We're going to try to do this in one take because believe it or not, this is not the first take. I have been working at this for the past half hour and it has been one interruption after the other. So let's get this done in one take, okay? A few weeks ago, I did a video on some factory accessories offered on the shoptaurus.com website for the Taurus GX4. An overwhelming number of people watched that video and it's received positive feedback, and so now that a little bit of time has passed and a couple of things have changed since the time I made that video and now, I figured I'd get back with you and touch bases on some of the advancements that I have personally encountered with this fine pistol. Now keep in mind, as I like to point out in most of my videos, this is a safe and empty weapon. I don't have any live ammunition out here and all the magazines are empty. We're going to try to keep it that way for the duration of the video. The Taurus GX4 comes with two magazines from the factory. They're both 11 round magazines and they have flush fit base plates. They fit right into this little notch on the bottom of the grip frame. For someone like me, and some of you, you'll notice that there really isn't anywhere for me to put my pinky finger. I can tuck it underneath, and that's comfortable for a little while, but for extended range sessions, it's not real comfortable. Although I have noticed that regardless of the magazine used with this pistol, it doesn't really affect accuracy at defensive distances, at least for me. Your mileage may vary. So I'm not going to go over all of the stuff that I covered in that first video. If you want to see it, I'll put the link right down there. It was only about 8 minutes long. But anyway, I was excited, as most of us are whenever we get new toys to play with. I was really hoping that all of the accessories that I purchased from shoptaurus.com would be spot on perfect for me. They were not. I'll cover that right now. The first one that I'll point out to you is the pinky extension base plate for the standard magazine. This is a $5 option from shoptaurus.com. As I mentioned before, it's really not a full pinky extension. It's barely long enough for me to get my finger on, and when I make a grip, my pinky finger has a tendency to want to slip off of the end of it. That doesn't really work for me. Several of the viewers have mentioned that Lakeline LLC makes a pinky extension base plate for the GX4 that is much better. Now, this comes with a couple of caveats. For one, the extended base plate from Lakeline LLC is a $12 part. The pinky extension from shoptaurus.com is only $5. That's a pretty significant difference. I don't think everybody would need an extended base plate quite as long as the one offered from Lakeline LLC. Several of the commenters had mentioned that Lakeline LLC wants you to purchase shipping insurance for your packages from them, and I had a couple of people say that they had purchased items from Lakeline LLC without purchasing the shipping insurance, and they never got their items. I wasn't going to mention anything about it until I had seen firsthand how it worked. So I took matters into my own hands and I went to their website just to see exactly what they were talking about. Now if you look up over here, sure enough, when you go to Lakeline LLC's website, you cannot click on anything on that page without having a banner pop up prompting you to purchase shipping insurance for $5. While $5 is not a huge amount of money, when the initial part that you're buying is only $12, you know, you're paying a considerable amount more for the hopes that you'll actually get your package. So I decided to take a chance and purchase the pinky extension for the magazine from Lakeline LLC without the shipping insurance. So as you can see right here, the total cost for the pinky extension from Lakeline LLC was $16.48, which is a considerable amount to pay for a magazine pinky extension. So for $16.48, what did we get? We got what appeared to be a 3D printed base plate that fit fairly well. It does not fit tight. It has a little bit of play in it. However, to date, I've yet to pop it loose by dropping it on the floor. And I'm going to stop dropping it on the floor. So I know right now already there's a few of you that are banging away on your keyboards saying that can't be 3D printed. No, it's going to be injected in molded plastic, whatever. So I reached out to Lakeline LLC and asked them about it. Later that day, al-gore-rythm from Lakeline LLC got back with me, and yep, sure enough, it is a 3D printed part. Now I'll show you, because I know you'll want to see it. The pinky extension from Lakeline LLC is ever so slightly longer, and while my pinky finger does tend to hang a little bit over the edge of it, the overall angle of it lends itself to helping me keep my finger where it's supposed to be on the front of the grip of the pistol. For me, the grip extension from Lakeline LLC works better than the one from Shop Taurus. The other accessory that I wanted to go over with you was the holster. As you may remember from my first accessory video, I had purchased the Tactical holster. It's a bolt-on holster with a cool carbon fiber print to it, and it fits the Taurus GX4 fairly well. One thing that some people do not like is the magazine release is exposed on this holster. But that's not what I don't like about it. So I decided, utilizing this holster and this platform, I was going to carry the Taurus GX4 for 30 days and see how it fit. Now prior to this, almost exclusively, I had been carrying my SIG P365. After a couple days of carrying the GX4 in the Tactical holster, I noticed that the pistol sits kind of high in this holster, and it felt very top heavy. You know, if you figure with my belt line going across it right about there, there was an awful lot of the weight of that gun, especially with a loaded magazine, that wanted to flop out of my belt. Now I realized that I'm not the physical specimen of health, but I probably pretty realistically fit the body type of a lot of my viewers. So I kept finding myself during that 30 days wanting to go back to my P365. So I had to ask myself, why is that? So I got it out, and I took a good hard look at the CYA holster that I carry my P365 in. And the first thing I noticed is it's got a really significant, probably a 15-degree forward cant in its current setup. I thought maybe that's the difference. But the more I looked at it, the more you could see here that lining up the belt clips, the P365 just sits lower in the holster than the GX4 did. I mean, it's not going to matter to everybody, but it mattered to me. So I found myself carrying the P365 on a couple of occasions when I had intended to carry the GX4. So I decided, what could I do about it? So I went on CYA's website, and I was able to find that they do in fact make a holster now for the Taurus GX4. I figured by now they would probably have one out. And just because that one guy out there doesn't like the way I say similar, I'm going to call it similar. So you'll notice now that the grip angle of the GX4 is very similar to the grip angle of the P365. Here we have the GX4 in the Tactical holster. You'll notice how the grip sits almost horizontal. And here we have it in the CYA holster, and you'll notice that 15-degree forward cant really helps to lower the center of gravity of the pistol in the holster. So with an overshirt, you know, there's always the matter of printing. With a pistol this small, it's really not a huge deal. But here you can see me doing the reach for the groceries on the top shelf with the Tactical holster. You can kind of see the outline of it there. I realize the lighting isn't perfect in that shot. And here I am with the CYA holster, and it appears to be slightly better concealed. So to answer the claims about the shipping issues with the Lakeline LLC pinky extension, I ordered it, and within the week I had it, and I had no issues receiving it. So take that for what it's worth. Also, when I reached out to Lakeline LLC to ask them the question about the manufacture process, they answered me promptly and were courteous about it. So I know a lot of you folks are just like me and really don't have a lot of time to devote to watching this kind of stuff, so I had to cut a lot of content to keep this as short as I did. So if you're still here to this point, thank you. You can leave a comment down below. I read them all. I try to respond to as many of them as I can. Consider maybe a like or a dislike or a subscription if you want to. It lets me know that people are watching and enjoying what I'm trying to do here. And It really does help me to stay motivated trying to put out more content for you folks. Take care. God bless.